This is the NCN 6 o'clock news. Culture Minister Dr. Frank Anthony says works on most of the venues in Georgetown and the various regions for CariFesta have been completed. The minister says all other facilities at the National Park should be up and running by tomorrow. Over at the Safari Exhibition Centre, all fixtures have been put in place except the Culinary Village, which should be completed by tonight. Meanwhile, stage lights are being installed at the National Stadium, and artists have also started to install their pieces at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall, International Convention Centre, and National Gymnasium. Minister Anthony says he is pleased with the progression of preparations and is confident that everything will run smoothly during the 10-day period. CARICOM's goal at strengthening its integration movement has been further advanced as St. Lucia renews its commitment to the regional integration process. Earlier today, St. Lucia's ambassador to CARICOM presented her letters of credence to the CARICOM Secretary General. Here's Pamela Binder.
Accepting the accreditation on behalf of CARICOM, Secretary General Dr. Edwin Carrington says he is grateful for St. Lucia's commitment in forging the community together.
Excellency, your country's commitment to the regional integration movement is unquestionable. As we seek collectively to attain a deeper and more people-centered integration through the fulfillment of the vision represented by the CARICOM single market and economy, we rely on the continued commitment, efforts, and leadership of St. Lucia, particularly in light of its responsibility in the Caribbean community.
He notes that St. Lucia's hosting of the OES Secretariat is testimony of the country's strong support for regional integration. He further notes that CARICOM and OECS has enjoyed a high level of cooperation which serves as a guide to CARICOM's integration efforts. According to the St. Lucian ambassador, Dr. June Sumer, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia has made several moves to ensure integration is given full attention.
In a short space of time, he has put in place structures to ensure that CARICOM functions are given a priority. So I'd like to reassure the Director General that St. Lucia is committed and will continue to be committed to the integration movement.
Dr. Sumer notes that while St. Lucia is already deeply knitted into CARICOM, it will focus more on the development of youth and their understanding of the integration movement. St. Lucia currently has the leading responsibility for sustainable development within the CARICOM region. Reporting for NCN News, I am Pamela Binder.
Thank you very much, Pamela. President Barry Jagdeo says Henry Green is his candidate for the post of Police Commissioner, even as opposition leader Robert Corbyn is to yet confirm his choice. The president made this announcement today in light of a newspaper article where Mr. Corbyn called for more talks between him and the head of state. Edward Lane reports.
President Barry Jagdeo says during his last meeting with the opposition leader Robert Corbyn, he named the acting police commissioner Henry Green as his choice for the substantive post. The president says he officially informed Mr. Corbyn by way of letter as requested. He expressed disappointment with recent comments on the subject by the opposition leader in the media.
I'm very disappointed that in today's paper I saw him saying that we have to meet again. My recollection of the meeting was different. I spoke to him and I said, look, we will have to consult on the Commissioner of Police. I had an exploratory meeting on the Commissioner of Police and I proposed Henry Green.
President Jagdeo says if the opposition needs another meeting, he will do so.
Because I don't need his agreement. Now I've seen in the paper that he's saying now that we have written him that we need to have another consultation. Well, I'm now going to change the name of my nominee. But if he wants to go through it just for the formality's sake, so I call him over and say, Henry Green will be the person, as I spoke to you before, and I've written you, and then he'd say yes or no, and I'd go through with it.
Green has been acting since the retirement of Winston Felix in 2006. The president on several occasions had said he was impressed with the work of the acting top cop. Edward Lane, the 6 o'clock news.
The joint services will be conducting random roadblocks as part of security plans for CariFest 10. This was disclosed by Commodore Gary Best at a recent CariFest security meeting. More from the Cassia Logan.
Commodore Gary Best promises that the Army's Joint Special Operation Group JSOG will continue to work as Guyana prepares to open the 10-day CARIFESTA activities. He disclosed that the joint services will be conducting roadblocks along the East Coast and East Bank public roads and the Linden-Suzdijk Highway.
Over the period, the main arteries in Guyana, the main highways in Guyana will suffer from control points. So the traffic passing through will go through a deliberate process of all vehicles being searched.
Commodore Best urges citizens to leave early for CARIFESTA activities since their vehicles may be subjected to a detailed search. There will also be a mobile patrol in the Buxton agricultural areas known as hotspots. Reporting for the NCN 6 o'clock news, I am Nakasia Logan.
Unconfirmed reports indicate that Rahul Nihalal of the Anna Regina Multilateral School is this year's top CSEC performer with 14 grade 1s and 2 grade 2s. However, Education Minister Sheikh Bashk has confirmed that Nazano Weeks of Queen's College topped the CAPE exams with 5 grade 1s. And the best performer at the General Certificate of Education GC exams is Robert Mansell of Queen's College with 4 A's. Minister Bashk says distribution of the CAPE and GC examination results will begin tomorrow, while CSEC slips have not arrived in the country as yet. Health Minister Dr. Leslie Ramsamy says testing for hypertension and tuberculosis will be done on this year's National Day of Testing, since they are twin killers of HIV-infected persons. This was disclosed as the World AIDS Awareness Campaign is launched at the Convention Center in Lilindale. Details in this report.
Minister Dr. Leslie Ramsamy disclosed that his ministry has a target of 10,000 people to be tested on National Day of Testing come November 21. He says testing for hypertension and tuberculosis will also be conducted this year. Reports state that more than 30% of the people infected with HIV died of TB. In the meantime, Dr. Ramsamy made a call for members of parliament, religious leaders, and other officials to get tested and lead by example.
The members of parliament must come out in the communities and mobilize our communities and lead by example and take the test on National Day of Testing. I say on your behalf, I say on the behalf of all the people of this country, we want our leaders to show us that they are in solidarity with us.
During the launch of the AIDS Awareness Campaign, a locally produced movie to raise awareness among young people called Shattered Hopes and Dreams was featured. And the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, Dr. Frank Anthony, reiterated that edutainment is an effective method of sending messages to youths.
Edutainment certainly is something that we need to have more of, and as you heard during CARIFESTA at the Youth Village, one of the things that will be happening there is that you have special booths, and there will be lots of edutainment activities going on in those booths. Interactive sessions where people can learn more, especially young people, where they'll be able to learn more.
Despite improved antiretroviral treatment around the world, more people are being infected with the virus. AIDS has killed more than 25 million people so far. And National AIDS Program Secretariat Program Manager Dr. Shanti Singh says people need to know that prevention is not only better than cure, but that it is cure. World AIDS Day is being observed on December 1 under the theme Stop AIDS, Keep the Promise, Leadership. Onika Jones, the 6 o'clock news.